In this video, I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way to get gold assault rifles in Modern Warfare 2. Now, I'm sure that most of you already know that the assault rifles are one of the easiest weapon classes to get the gold camo for, but in this video, I'm going to cover some of the challenges that may be a little bit difficult for you so you guys can get these gold assault rifles a little bit quicker. So we're going to start with the getting kills from behind challenge. This one is a little bit difficult and is only a challenge for a couple of the ARs. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have dead silence on as the field upgrade. This will help significantly when it comes to flanking the enemies. If you want to rotate up the side of the map, you can get behind the entire team, and as long as they don't have a UAV, they won't hear you, they won't see you, and you should be good with the Daddy. You also want to make sure that you're playing on small maps and objective-based game mode. So when I say small maps, at the time that I'm recording this video, Shipment is not in the game, but that would be a really good option. Shoot House 24/7 is available and is a really good one to kind of just wait behind walls and doorways so that you can kind of just wait for players to run through, shoot them in the back, and knock out that challenge. If you don't want to play Shoot House 24/7, you can play the standard maps, but I wouldn't recommend going for this challenge unless you're playing on one like Farm 18 or Mercado Les Almas, because you want it to be a fairly small map so you're not sitting behind a doorway or behind a wall waiting for someone to come by. Someone might not ever come by on some of the maps, so make sure that you're playing the small ones. It'll make it a little bit easier and make it go by way faster. Also, like I said, playing objective-based game modes is a really good way to go, because if you're playing something like Hardpoint, they're all going to be migrating towards that hardpoint, so you can kind of just play a little bit outside of the point and catch people as they're running by. The second challenge that's a little bit difficult is getting double kills, and now this is a challenge with most of the ARs. Again, I highly recommend playing the small map. Shoot House 24/7, great option. If Shipment's in the game at the time you're watching this video, definitely play that. The good thing about the double kills is there's actually a few seconds that you're allowed in between kills. So if you take out one guy, you have like 3 to 5 seconds to get that second kill, and it still counts. So you don't have to do it immediately after, but if you get in within that couple second window, you'll be able to knock it out. And obviously playing a map like Shipment or Shoot House or a small map like Farm 18 will make this a little bit easier to complete. Another tip that I would recommend is running a higher magazine or playing tier 1. Tier 1 is nice because obviously you're able to take out the players really quick, but running a higher round mag was something that I found useful with some of the ARs, because maybe you empty a whole clip trying to take out one guy because you miss a lot of shots, and then you don't have time to reload and take out a second before the timer expires. So running like a 45 round mag might help you big time when it comes to that, as well as playing the objective based game modes again. This is very useful when going for double kills. Hardpoint I think is probably the best option, just because you're gonna have a majority of the other team pushing that point, but this is definitely the best way to go about getting double kills. Now the next challenge is Hipfire kills. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the weapon that you're using has all the Hipfire accuracy you can get. So take your time, go through each attachment slot and find an attachment that either gives you Hipfire recoil control or Hipfire accuracy, and try to build your weapon around all those attachments. This will help significantly when getting these Hipfire kills. And then playing on the small maps, obviously if Shipment's available, you'll want to do that. Shoot House 24/7, another really good option. You can also do this in tier 1. I know a lot of people have been using the hardcore mode to knock out the Hipfire since it only takes a couple shots. The only downside is you die a little bit quicker, but I think maybe tier 1 might be a better option for some of you. But the Hipfire aren't that bad. Just make sure that you're building your class for Hipfire accuracy, or you're going to be shooting a lot and missing a lot. The next challenge is mounted kills, which is for a lot of the ARs, and really the only thing you should be playing is Shoot House 24/7. Playing that middle lane, that head glitch area, is the best way to get long shots, the best way to get mounted kills. For sure, play Shoot House 24/7 and mount up on those walls. You'll knock these challenges out really fast. Also, make sure that you're building your class for range and distance, which is the same thing, but make sure that you have bullet velocity, recoil control, and accuracy at maximum. And I would recommend using a scope like the VLK so that you can see a little bit further down range and hit a few more of your shots. But make sure that you're building your loadout to be able to be extremely accurate from long range, so that when you're mounting up, you're not missing a ton of shots. Now, the last difficult base challenge before unlocking the gold challenge is to get point blank kills. Now, fortunately, this is only for 1 or 2 of the ARs, but can be quite annoying trying to complete. What I would recommend doing is just playing extremely slow. One thing that I did was I just got really good at sitting behind walls and doorways in popular areas of the map. You can play on a small map. That's a really good way to go about doing it. Shoot House is probably your best option until they add Shipment into the game. But if you're playing on Shoot House, what I would do is kind of just hide behind a wall or one of the doorways and wait for an enemy to run past you or run to you. Once you hear them coming to the door, you can whip around the corner or just wait for them to run through, and it makes it a lot easier to knock this out instead of just playing aggressive and running to the spawn every time. You'll knock it out quicker if you play a little bit more patient. You can also play an objective-based game mode like hardpoint and just camp on the hardpoint, wait for enemies to come towards you. But yeah, just getting really good at playing patient and waiting behind the doorways or the walls for the enemies to come to you is the best way to go about doing this. I would also make sure that you're building your class for hipfire accuracy once again, like you're going for hipfire kills, because those point blank kills most of the time are gonna be hipfire. So make sure that you're building for hipfire accuracy as well as hipfire recoil control, just to make it a little bit easier on you. Now the last challenge you need to complete is obviously the gold challenge, and for the ARs it's pretty easy, getting 3 kills without dying several times. What I would highly recommend doing is playing a game mode that doesn't have terrible spawns, which is hard to ask for with Modern Warfare 2, but playing something like hardpoint or domination is probably your best bet. I tried to do this challenge a lot and kill confirmed, and it failed miserably so many times just because players were constantly spawning behind me. So make sure that you're picking a mode where the spawns stay consistent so that you don't have to worry about getting flanked every single time you're going for one of these challenges. So make sure that you're playing a game mode that doesn't have terrible spawns, and you should be able to knock out this challenge pretty quick. But that's how to get the gold assault rifles quick and easy here in Modern Warfare 2. If you guys have any other questions or you guys have any other tips that you kind of learned while trying to get these challenges done, leave them in the comments down below. I'm sure they'll help some players out, and I'll be sure and try to help some of you guys out that have questions. But I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.